morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Yes, I'm back again. It wasn't a fluke that I was on the last one. We've got Maddie, who's a little bit ill this week, so I'm stepping in to fill the other side of the hit pair this week, and joined by Wasim. Seems to be jumping around a little bit on your video there, mate. But hopefully we're going to be able to hear you all right. How you doing?
I'm good. I have no idea what's going on with my internet. I've been having internet issues for a couple of weeks now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just bearable, mate. So let's continue.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening, depending where you are joining us in the world. And welcome to another exciting Decrypting Crypto live stream. And this time we've got the boss man here with us. So it's good to have you back, Michael.
Good to be back. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right. Should we get started?
Let's roll, man.
Beautiful. So starting off with the news highlights, guys, and some really, really bullish news happening right now with BlackRock coming into the crypto market. We spoke a little bit about it last week with one of the tweets with what's his name? The guy from Richard called that Robert Kiyosaki. I just got a mind blank. So this week we're looking at what BlackRock is doing. They're actually launching one of the a private Bitcoin trust. So this is something that they've spoken about because in one of their blogs, because they're getting a lot of the institutional investors that are interested in getting access to crypto and specifically Bitcoin, because it is the world's oldest and has the largest liquidity. It still has the largest market cap of all cryptocurrencies. So a lot of institutional investors are getting into crypto. They will look at Bitcoin first. When this news came about, it started a little bit of a rally last week, as we saw with Bitcoin reaching a little bit over 25,000. And the interesting thing is, this is pretty much going to be like a Bitcoin ETF, but without going through the government. So, the Bitcoin ETF is not hasn't been approved in America yet. It is approved in Australia and Canada and some other countries, but there isn't one in America. So BlackRock doing this private trust is going to allow a lot of these private institutions to be able to invest in Bitcoin without through them. ARK Invest did come out and speak about this and said that if BlackRock puts in anywhere between 2.5 and 6.5% of their holding into Bitcoin, we can see the Bitcoin price increase by $200,000 to $500,000. So this is a huge news and more proof that large institutions are looking at this. It is good and bad news because it means that we'll be able to manipulate the market, but it's good overall because crypto adoption is moving forward. Moving on to the next one, we have another stable coin that bites the dust. So Alpaca stable coin, which is on the Polkadot ecosystem, lost its peg recently, going down to less than a cent. And this happened a couple of days ago on August the 14th. Now, after looking into this, it did go back up to 95 cents, but went back down to less than a cent. And what they found was it was a exploit by hackers who looked at who tried to exploit this and mint a whole bunch of these stablecoin. They have paused this and they have blacklisted those hackers or the exploiters from this and are looking at regaining and fixing the network. But this year has not been a good year for stablecoins. Outside of pretty much, after the USDT, the Luna crash, there hasn't been many stablecoins that haven't depegged. Even USDT is depegged. A lot of stablecoins have had a rough year. Only a few of them have been able to keep their peg this year. So interesting time for stablecoins. Interesting to see what happens in the future with those. Next one, we've got a large open interest in Ethereum Ethereum options. So there's been a lot of chat, a lot of news around Ethereum recently because they are doing the merge or the move over to proof of stake versus proof of work. So the difference between proof of work and proof of stake is that proof of work uses computers and uses computers to solve complex mathematical equations to be able to prove that and validate the transactions. Proof of stake is a little bit different than that, and it's using algorithms and whatnot. And this is seen, and because Ethereum is moving to proof of stake, and I think they said around the 15th or 16th of September. So it could be 14th, 15th, or 16th of September that this happens. When this happens, it's going to be a big upgrade for Ethereum. And just this news is showing a 15% in the price of Ethereum. So a lot of great things happening in Ethereum with over $8.1 billion coming into open interest into the Ethereum options on August 12th. Moving on, we've got over to the Bitcoin mining revenue jumps by 68.6% from the lowest earning day in June in 2022. Waiting for mine to load because I did have some notes on there. So one of the things that with the drop in the price of Bitcoin, a lot of the Ethereum miners were not able to be profitable. But what we're seeing now is since June 2022. Since July 2022, there's been an increase of about 68.6% in the profit that miners are doing. So miners shown back on June 13th had the lowest day, and now they've increased by about 68% since then. And this has been because of obviously the crash in the ecosystem, the lunar crash, and a whole bunch of other stuff happening in the macro environment, not just obviously the crypto environment, but overall we've had a lot of downward pressure in crypto. And now that we're starting to see a bit of a turnaround, miners are now able to become profitable. So that's the big news for miners. And one great thing I will mention here that, we know that mining is a very, very expensive game to get into. Back when Bitcoin first started, people could mine Bitcoin on their laptops, but now it costs millions of billions, sometimes even billions of dollars to have to get into a proper mining farm. And one of the great things that we bring into our members is we recently released a protocol for our Millionaire Club members where they can get a share in a mining farm purely by holding a particular token. So if you are interested in these type of opportunities that we bring our members all the time, make sure you check out the 1K day webinar coming up that we've got coming up this week, actually tomorrow. Can we put that up? Thanks, guys. So make sure you go to breakoutnow.co/1K day to learn about a lot of the opportunities that we bring in our members. All right, moving on to the next one, we have Mr. GigaChat himself, MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor, is speaking about how Bitcoin is going to demonize gold. So what he's saying here is that all that gold traditionally has been the go-to currency or the go-to precious metal that a lot of countries go to. With the emergence of crypto and Bitcoin specifically, more and more countries and more businesses are looking at adopting crypto for payment services as well as using it for reserve assets. So, what he actually says was conventional critics and mainstream analysts don't get the crypto economy, don't understand Bitcoin, and they hate the volatility. Bitcoin is going to gradually demonetize gold over time. Gold will go into utility value of gold, but it won't be adopted as money in the 21st century. And then he also goes on that the market looks like it's bottomed, where the fundamentals are emerging as institutional investment grade assets being embraced by regulators, legislators, and large-scale investors. So he's talking about that Bitcoin will replace gold as the go-to asset, and also is talking about that the market, in his opinion, has bottomed. So we'll see what the guys have got to say in the market analysis later on today. And lastly, is that the last one? Yes, the rest is around the highlight. So the adoption. I always forget that.
Keep going, mate. You're welcome to keep going if you want.
No. Go over to you, mate, and then we'll come back to me with the adoption highlight. Let's keep the format going as it is.
Yeah, no worries. So Matt normally does this one, but stepping in today. So first tweet from the Pomp, Anthony Pompiano. When you put money into a bank account, it is no longer your money. And he says Bitcoin allows for sovereignty. So very true. Look, banks are centralized. Basically, when you put your money in there, they're custodying those assets, if you will, but they're not necessarily yours. So they can effectively freeze your money anytime, even the government. can actually take. I think in Australia it's like up to $250,000 you're supposed to have protection for. Everything over that you're not. But in some countries, I don't think you have anything. Now, it's important to note that you also have centralization in the digital asset space as well. So you do need to be careful. We saw recently with Celsius that did custody assets for us, and I was one of the people that had some money in Celsius. They've effectively declared bankruptcy, and we're not sure whether we'll see any of that money back. So it is you have to be very careful where you store your assets. And this is why Bitcoin is a fantastic option for holding, especially your long-term wealth, because you do self-custody your coins and it is safe as long as you have the right security in place, which is something that we help to teach you. Number 2 from Lark Davids. This one's an interesting one. Banks who have laundered trillions for drug lords, mafia, oligarchs, terrorists, and sanctioned states on hearing the news that the USA shut down an open source code project, Tornado Cash, instead of them. I suppose you can laugh about this, but it is, I guess, a pretty serious issue, really, at its heart. The biggest examples of money laundering has all happened on fiat currency, and particularly by the use of various banks. There's a whole list of them. Every major bank you've thought of has been caught doing money laundering. Yet they're all still operating, and fiat currency is seen as a nice, clean way of transacting, but crypto is the thing that's worse, right? So, they're just painting crypto in a bad light, essentially. Governments will do anything they can to protect their own currency, and also other people who benefit from fiat currency. It's not just governments. It's this big system where there's a few people at the top that benefit, and so they'll do everything they can to protect it, because that's a key tool in their shed to be able to maintain control over the people. So just be a little bit careful what you hear in the media when it's bashing crypto. One from BitBoy Crypto. There's over 19 million BTC in the circulating supply. But as you know, it's really a false number. Reality is it's about 1 million really that are said to be Satoshis, and Satoshi's Nakamoto's, who's the founder of Bitcoin, or the creator, I should say. And when you combine that with the amount of lost Bitcoin, they reckon is around, I thought it was around 13 to 14. His tweet says 14.5. So you effectively got like 2/3 of the limited supply of Bitcoin than what you thought, being 21 million. So, it's even scarcer of a resource than what people think. And there's been a stack of people that have lost money to Bitcoin, people throwing out hard drives, forgetting passphrases. I think there's one example of a guy who's raising, I don't know, it was like $5 or $10 million to search through a tip to try and find his hard drive that he chucked out like 10 years ago. So it's pretty crazy actually what lengths people are doing to get that money back, because it's probably talking about millions of dollars. Yeah. So go.
Also, Michael, we met when we went to that crypto roadshow, we actually met someone who lost 5,000 Bitcoin on a corrupt hard drive. Imagine having a hard drive there with 5,000 Bitcoin and you can't access it. So I totally agree with you. There's so many people that we speak to that say about how much Bitcoin they've lost over the years. So, just to second that, that it is very, very scarce. And the more people that lose Bitcoin, the more scarce it will become.
Yeah, correct. So don't be one of those numbers. Get the right security in place, get a hardware wallet, have some redundancy in place, split your funds across multiple places as well. There's a bunch of different precautions that you can take. But one point to make is, with this limited supply, when that demand starts to come back for Bitcoin, you're going to get what's known as a supply shock, where there's going to be not enough Bitcoin for people to buy, which is really going to drive the price up quite a lot. Might not see it until the next bull market rolls around, but it's definitely going to happen. We've seen it multiple times in Bitcoin history. So very, very exciting when you see that come around when you're already holding Bitcoin. So make sure you are. Second last one on the Twitter. This one here saying energy use can be controlled by price, not decree. Moronic government. This is the beginning stage of hyperinflation shortage blamed on something else, not price control. So this is basically governments now effectively controlling how we live and blaming, inflation and climate change and all these things on actions of the everyday people and not so much actions of them. So it's very scary, because it's a case of how far are they going to go in terms of what they prevent us to do in relation to living our life. So, things like central bank digital currencies, very, very scary prospect for me. Potentially give a lot more control to these governments if you're not careful. So really, one of the best ways to get out of this, what we call this financial matrix, is to get into crypto, to get into blockchain technology, buy some Bitcoin, come down the rabbit hole with us, and we can show you all the different ways that you can make money, protect your wealth for the longer term. Plan B's tweet, still blue, but for how long? So this is a chart of the Bitcoin price and the percentage of Bitcoin that's in loss. So effectively, blue numbers mean you've got a greater percentage that's in loss, and the red is a lesser percentage. So you'll see a bit of a pattern there that typically when you see those blue periods where you've got up to 40% of the Bitcoin supply in loss, they're typically been usually good places for a bottom, or at least on the way to a bottom. So, there's a bit of a hint at the moment that if you aren't owning any Bitcoin at the moment, or you're too scared to buy more or whatever, if you look at the last 4 or 5 times this has happened, it's been a fantastic place to actually consider bulking up your stack. So pretty good hint for you. Definitely a really good cue to be what's known as dollar cost averaging. It's not really quotes, it's actually a term, which is basically just buying more Bitcoin periodically rather than trying to time the market. So the idea is buy some now, if it drops further, buy some more, if it drops further, buy some more. Because if you've got the conviction that it's going to 100K, 1 million eventually, then it doesn't really matter what price you buy at, you just keep on buying more when it drops. That's it from my side, mate. You've got some good adoption highlights, so I'll throw it back to you.
Thank you, Michael. And just on that, DCAing, Michael's going to have some very, very exciting information that we just released, a brand new mirror portfolio for our 1K day clients. So stick around for that when we get to the Breakout Solutions update. Now, first up, Philippines Union Bank to support cryptocurrency exchange via mobile app. So Union Bank of the Philippines, is commonly known as the Union Bank, has announced the upcoming launch of another crypto service for its clients. The financial institution will offer select users on its mobile app the option to exchange Bitcoin and other digital assets without a separate wallet. So what this bank is saying, that there is a lot of adoption in cryptocurrencies in the Philippines, and they started to provide some cryptocurrency services, and now they're actually offering it in their own mobile app where users and their customers can actually buy Bitcoin directly within the app. They don't have to go create an exchange account or anything like that without having a separate wallet. Now, look, I have to say my personal reservation about buying crypto from a bank. Traditionally, banks have not been our friend. So, I personally would never, ever buy crypto from a bank. I would always buy from an exchange and put in my own hardware wallet. But overall, this is showing that even banks are now recognizing how important it is for them to be able to get into the crypto space. Especially, and what they said here is we also recognize that cryptocurrencies have been one of the services that a lot of customers are already looking for, especially the younger generation, and this demand was accelerated by the pandemic. So this is showing that a lot of banks are now seeing that they need to get in on this game, because they're seeing a lot of people and a lot of reports, a lot of new investors, especially the younger generation, are preferring to invest in cryptocurrencies over traditional investments. So banks are looking at ways, even here in Australia, we saw the Commonwealth Bank talking about this and saying that, they're losing market share to crypto because younger people are putting their money in crypto and not in banks. Something that we highly, highly endorse. You should be putting your money, some of your money in crypto, obviously only what you're willing can afford to lose, not financial advice, but where you have control over your money. So good to see the banks coming in on the game, or trying to get in on the game. Next up, we have MTV extends metaverse push ahead of VMAs, the Video Music Awards. So this is showing what MTV, if you don't know what MTV is, if you grew up in the 1990s, we used to wake up on a Saturday morning just to watch MTV, Rage, and all these music video channels. And I was actually telling my kids how it used to be a ritual every Saturday morning we'd get up to watch these. So, as new mediums, new platforms have come, like YouTube, TikTok, and whatnot, a lot of these older platforms started to lose their viewership. So, back in 2011, MTV had like 12.4 million viewers for their Video Music Award, while last year they only had 900,000 viewers. So they've lost, about 12, almost 11.5 million viewers over the past 10 years or so. So what they're doing now is they're looking to go into the metaverse, allowing people to jump into the metaverse, play some games, and be interactive with them, and then watch the Music Video Awards. So another way where metaverse and blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies is enabling better ways for companies to interact with their customers. Next up, we have Europe's largest private REIT trader becomes the world's first in the sector to accept Bitcoin. And we go to that one. Okay, we'll do the Japanese one first. Okay, so Japanese bank giant Shensai offers $60 in XRP or Bitcoin to lure in new customers. So again, this is a bank in Japan that is finding that a lot of their customers want cryptocurrency services. So what they've done is they've done a promotion where if you open up a new account or if you take on any of their new services between August 10 and October 31, they will give you $60 worth of either XRP or Bitcoin to be as a gift to get started. So when we were kids, we'd go open up a bank account, we would get those those piggy banks or whatever it is that have all those promotions. Now banks are starting to realize that people want crypto as people adopting more and more crypto. So to lure in more customers, they are giving them crypto. So even though XRP is in a battle with the SEC, XRP has made huge gains in Asia, and if they win the battle against SEC, it's going to go through the roof. Are we going over to Europeans to the retreat one now? No, we missed the retreat one. Okay, so all right. So next up we have Mercado Libre to expand cryptocurrencies services to more countries in Latin America. So I've spoken about how much Latin America is actually taking up more and more cryptocurrency, and a lot of adoption is happening there. We spoke about a new bank that's offering cryptocurrency services to 54 million users. Now, Mercado Libre is one of the biggest retailers in Latin America, has announced that it plans to expand its cryptocurrency trading services to more countries in the region. And they are looking at offering it for customers in Brazil, Mercado Pago, and also having their own digital payment wallet. They say we are going to be expanding in the region to possibly of buying, selling, and having cryptocurrencies in your own account. It works with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, and with a stable currency that reflects the value of the dollar. So due to so much competition and so much adoption happening in Latin America with cryptocurrencies, many of these companies are looking at finding ways that they can offer more and more cryptocurrency services to their clients. All right, are we going to do the European one now? No? Okay, we missed it.
No, brother, I crossed it out, man, just to keep us on time.
Oh, okay, I missed that. No problem.
Is it the market update now?
Sure is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here for the cameo. All right, guys, let's dive into the charts. Apologies if I sound a little bit crook. I am. I've got a couple of things wrong with me, but thanks for Michael for stepping in. Hopefully you guys haven't missed me too much. All right, let's talk about the chart. So if we quickly just zoom out on Bitcoin and let's just bring up the normal chart, you can see that Bitcoin has been moving in this ascending wedge. And I spoke about this at the last market update, that this is usually a bearish pattern. However, what we tend to see in bull markets, when you see a rising wedge and we are teetering along the top line of the wedge, we tend to have a large breakout. But because we are in a bear market, these bearish patterns tend to break to the downside. Now, I am still hoping that Bitcoin does have one more push to the upside before coming down. My target is still around that $26,500, and that's purely because it is the golden pocket from our previous high here at 31,800 to our 17,600 low, and you can see that the golden pocket right here is sitting nicely at the top of this wedge. So I'd like for the price to come down, come up to here, and this will set up for a really nice short. I think things are looking on the high time frames like they're overbought. A couple of things that I like to look at when looking at overbought is the stochastic RSI. So on the 4 hour there, we can't really see the overbought scenario. Let me just remove this. But you can clearly see here on the daily, we have the stochastic moving averages pointing down. On the 2-day, we are in the overbought territory, and basically what you can see is if you look at each of these peaks and then you match it up to the chart, we can see that we started selling off once we sort of reached these peaks. Now the stochastic RSI on the 2-day has been up here for quite some time, which basically tells me at some point we're going to need to start heading back down. So I do think if we're not at the top already, we're very close to the top. And we should start seeing some selling maybe by the end of the month in accordance to what I can sort of see on the chart. So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to cover. So right now, it's not a great time to be getting back into the market. We've had a really good sort of, let's do a quick measurement. We've had a good push to the upside. You know, Bitcoin's gone up sort of 43%. I feel like it's time to come back down. Areas of interest, of support, if we do break down from the current point of control, so this right here, this red line that you can see is holding us up right now at $24,000. We've spent the last 2 days here. If we're unable to hold this by tomorrow, so on a daily close, I will look for a small bounce at 23,300. And if that is unable to support us, then we have the point of control of the entire sideways range at 21,200. Look for a bounce there, and then look for another bounce at 19,600. But basically, if we come down from this wedge, it's pretty obvious that we're going to come back down close to the lows to retest, you know, the winter lows that we experienced here. So that's basically it for the market update. I'll bring the boys back in. I know they've got a few breakout solution updates for you. So back over to them.
Yeah, nice work, mate. Short and sweet, to the point. I love it. So we've got to cash out some of our short-term profits very soon. So thanks for the heads up. So, yeah, some updates from the business side. So we had a really exciting session last night. It was our 1K day monthly update where we launched a new product called the mini mirrored portfolio. So imagine having a professional trader manage a portfolio for you and trade in and out of assets so that you could accumulate more Bitcoin and ETH. You effectively never have to worry about time in the market again. And this is all while you have full control over your coins. So that is what we have launched here with a mini mirrored portfolio. So you can have a professional team in us managing this portfolio. All you got to do is deposit funds into the vault. It's all done using DeFi. Everything else is handled for you. So when we see the market overextending, like it's kind of getting to shortly now, we'll bank profits. When we see that we're kind of oversold and we think we're hitting some local lows, we're going to be moving back into Bitcoin and ETH. So it's ultimately going to allow you to accumulate a lot more Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is what you want heading towards a bull market, and ultimately maximize your profit. So this is actually the same strategies that we've used in our main mirrored portfolio, which has overperformed or beaten the market by about 80% over the last 12 months. So we're bringing it to the 1K day members. It's a super valuable service. I wasn't going to approve this to go into the 1K day club, but the guys convinced me to do so. And really leads on to the fact that now that we have this massively valued service in the 1K day club, we are going to be upping the price for the 1K day club. It is going to be after this week. So if you want to take advantage of the foundation membership, which effectively gives you 50% off the membership for life, then you got to jump on it this week. So we have the webinars coming up tomorrow and Thursday. The link's on the page there, breakoutnow.co/1K day. So last chance to get in at this price. Otherwise, it's basically doubling from the start of next week. Okay. One more from me. Some really exciting Millionaire Club updates as well recently. We've just launched our altcoin mirrored portfolios. So this gives exposure to our research portfolios, our HODL portfolio, our gaming and metaverse portfolio, and our layer 2 portfolio, which has a bunch of really good layer 2 ETH projects on there. So these are now part of the mirrored portfolio. So again, all you do is deposit your funds, copy it, and now you've got exposure to some higher risk, higher reward altcoins. So again, super valuable service. This one's a little bit more advanced and a little bit more powerful. So it's Millionaire Club members only. And Wasim mentioned one of the new diamond in the roughs that we released as well, which is effectively a Bitcoin mining operation where all you got to do is buy the token and you get the benefits, like basically a share in the profits that's created from that. So super, super exciting, really early stage. It's only 1 million market cap. I think this is easily 10 to 100x potential over the next couple of years. So really exciting. And another one is a new kind of DeFi platform that is building up really nice. I think it's going to be a future blue chip. I heard recently that they've got a potential partnership with a massive traditional finance company in the UK that's looking to leverage their platform to get funds in there. So that's massive if they can land a partnership like that. Again, buy the token.
Just on that, Michael, sorry, that token that we're talking about is actually, it's gone to 3 million market cap in the last 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. From the DeFi one?
No, the mining company.
Oh, okay, yeah, the mining one. It was at about. I think it was at about 2 to 2.5 when we released it. So maybe it's the breakout members that are pumping it.
Yeah, it's at 3 million.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, so that one's at 3 million. This DeFi one, I haven't checked in the last few days, but it was at about 1.2 million. So these are tiny market caps, guys. It doesn't take a lot of money to double, triple, 10x, 100x. So we've been following these projects for 6 months. I'm a beta tester on the DeFi one, and I've personally met with both token project creators. So we're very close to these projects. A lot of effort goes into researching these projects, spending the time to find them. So that's why they are included in the Millionaire Club. So, and we also have a really awesome discount on the Millionaire Club as well. We've decided to do a discount on that. It's basically 50% off. And we also have a 2-for-1 as well. So there's a couple concurrent offers. These are for a limited time. They'll probably be out by the end of the week because all the spots will get snapped up. So if any of that has taken your fancy, use the link on the screen there, breakoutnow.co/breakout session. You basically book in a time with us, have a chat. We'll see if you're a good fit. And we can hook you up. So yeah, you're basically having a massive sale on all of our best products and services. So please take advantage and take action whilst they're available.
Love it. Thank you very much, Michael. Let's see, guys. Where can we see the current offers? Tom, just send me a message, mate, and I'll have a chat with you about that. You've got me on Telegram. So we did show those to our members yesterday with the 1K day. Please come to the webinar tomorrow, Tom, and we'll go through what the 1K day one looks like, and then you and I can have a chat about the Millionaire Club. So you've got my personal contact details, and I'm happy to help you out.
Awesome. Is that all we're covering today?
That's it. We're done.
Sweet. There we go. Awesome. Well, good session. And yeah, actually, we got the coaching session for the Millionaire Club members on advanced DeFi strategies. I was super excited about this at 6 p.m. So yeah, heaps happening on our side. Get in touch, guys. If you are watching this and you're not really involved in any of our stuff yet, maybe flick up the Decrypting Crypto link, Matt. Definitely want to jump on that. It's free. Jump in. It's got a course. These live streams are included and a bunch of other stuff. So jump on, start coming down the rabbit hole with us. And then, yeah, we hope to see you go through the different packages when the time's right for you.
That's it. All right, guys. Have a great night, and we shall see you on Friday night. Hopefully, Matt will be better by then, and we'll see him on